All right. Okay, starting to record. Okay, so all right, for this asynchronous activity, let's first tackle about what makes an action good. Parang medyo similar lang siya sa last meeting. So who would like to share first?
For me, I think that an action is considered good when it's like morally accepted uh, by a certain number of like a group of people. So like I think like an example would be helping an old lady cross the road. You know? That's my definition of that's like how I consider if something's good.
Ako, I agree din with Nico. Ako, I agree with Nico. Morally accept.
Kala ko una. Sige lang.
Wait, Banzo's not moving.
Okay ka lang. Yun, okay na si Banzo.
Okay.
Sa akin naman, tama, morally accepted. And to add more, siguro, yung basta accepted siya in the vicinity or in the community kung saan tayo. When basta accepted siya, for me, that defines a good action.
For me, siguro I'll just use the same example na din. Parang, I think action is good if it involves helping a person's di naman yung own benefit pero yung parang yung pinaka need niya and na mabe-benefit siya through long term ganon. But kahit minsan even though it can be used you can help a person pag di mo naman din alam yun you're still helping. I think it's still good ganon.
Para sa akin, for me naman, I think what makes a good action is yung intention. Very important yung intention of the person. And if it parang doesn't parang affect anybody in a negative way, yung
Question 2 naman.
Naglalag
So, okay. So, nakapag-share na tayo. So for the next question, are you responsible for the moral actions that you perform, either good or bad? Or in other words, should you be blamed for bad actions or praised for good ones? What is the extent of this responsibility? So, sige, I'll start by answering this question. I think we are to, for me, this is my opinion, we are to be blamed for the actions, whether right or wrong. Kasi we're the ones who is in control of the things that we do. Like we all have our own thinking, and I think we're not anymore an infant to not know what's good and what's bad. So we're in control of everything that we do. If we want to commit a crime, then go on. Nothing is stopping us to do anything, whether good or bad. So for me, that's my opinion.
Yeah, same. I also have the same thoughts. Like I do believe that we're responsible for the moral actions that we perform. Because like it's like a chain reaction. So like one thing will lead to another. So let's say like if we do something good, then obviously it's gonna be beneficial for the person who received that good action. Then if we do something bad, then obviously they'll be in the wrong end of that action. So yeah, and I feel like we do have to be responsible in every action that we do. So yeah.
For me, same concept then is you should be morally responsible for everything that you do. Pero if you did a good thing, it doesn't necessarily mean na hihingin mo yung praise or yung yung acknowledgement, and And ganun naman din sa bad thing siguro. Pag, even though, kuwari if sobrang bait mong tao and then you did a bad thing, tas ipapunish mo yung sarili mo, that's hindi naman din okay yun. Pero pag once yung situation calls for your responsibility siguro, pag yung hinahanap ka na ng consequence, yun, you should take it as honest as possible, ganun.
Yun yung as what Miko said na parang your decisions parang may lead to parang different consequences, parang ganun. Kasi for example, kasi personally when making a decision, I consider all negative outcomes of it. Tapos I choose the best one. Kasi parang for parang what do you call that? Parang mas gumaan loob ko, parang ganun. Kasi I chose among the parang worst outcomes. So if kunyari, I chose the worst, parang the best out of the worst, I know na it's still not the best, but it's the best among the worst, parang ganun.
Yeah.
I can accept
Like the
na
least
parang,
bad ganun.
yeah. Pero if the outcome is parang not among the worst but better, parang mas nakakagaan ng loob, parang ganun. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's important to parang consider all the possible outcomes of a decision. Kaya it's very important to be responsible.
Yeah. Ako add lang ako. So, one thing sa lahat ng sinabi natin, I think one thing I would like to add is the phrase that I always hear na think first before we act.
Yeah.
So, I've heard it a lot of times from the elders and even in movies. And I think we really need to think first before we act because when we act irrationally, we might regret the actions that we will do. So think first. May anyone wanna add pa? Okay, so let's move to the next. Okay, let's talk about moral responsibility. So for the first question regarding moral responsibility, what sort of instance could excuse a person from being morally responsible? In other words, is there any instance in which we cannot blame someone for doing something bad or we cannot praise someone for doing something good?
For me, I thought of the movie Robin Hood. Kasi, di ba, he was parang taking things from the rich and bringing it to the poor. So, yun, parang, I don't think na, what was the question?
What
More-
sort of
I don't
instance?
think na, we could blame, Robin Hood kasi rich people, I think they're somehow greedy, gets ba? Kasi, diba? Instead of giving some to the poor, they just take it for themselves. Yeah, I think,
Gets.
yeah.
Actually,
Also,
ibibigay ko din yung ganun na example. Like yung medyo controversial yung ginawa niya. Like kunwari let's just say na he killed the person just to save someone. Parang ganun. So parang even though parang intention niya is iligtas pero still yung parang paraan niya is hindi ganun ka ano. Parang nasa break even siya where he did both good and bad. Ganun.
Yeah. Also like parang that movie shows na parang like what he did was wrong. Like it's really wrong. Where like parang his intentions in the end were like is to help the poor naman talaga. So I don't know. It's like I think it's like a 50-50 na parang syempre like stealing is bad in the first place. Where like if you're doing it to help the poor, I guess like I don't know, you have to consider it and that's something good.
Well, for me naman, the thing that came out to my mind is yung kay Duterte, where he has a war on drugs. Well, his intention naman is good, but the process is a little bit messy because of the extrajudicial killings. Now, numerous numbers of people have died already a lot. Pero we can see naman na his intention is to eradicate drugs here in our country, but yung process medyo messy. So, I think we really can't blame pa rin. Kasi even though the process is messy, like what you guys all said naman, his intention is good naman, which is to eliminate drugs. So, yun.
Next
So,
question.
next question tayo. Okay, so second question, are we in absolute control of the consequences of our action? Should we be blamed or praised for unintended consequences?
I can start with that. I do believe that we're in absolute control of our consequences and that we should be blamed or praised for it. Because it's like saying na, example, if I don't study for an exam, really obviously I'll fail, right? So like I have like I knew I was going to fail it when I decided that I won't study for it. So parang it was in my control that I knew the result, but I still chose to not study. So yeah, I do believe that we're in absolute control talaga of the consequences of our actions.
For me naman, kasi, yeah, I agree din. Kasi, yun, parang before doing something, yun, it's very important to consider all the parang consequences from doing the action. Kaya, like, yun, you expect to be, you expect to be blamed for that action kasi you chose to do it. Kaya parang no one's telling you to do it naman. Kaya but you still chose, 'di ba? Gets ba? Parang
Yeah.
it's your own choice naman. Kaya you should be blamed for that action.
Ako, I agree din naman. Kasi why would we do things now we would regret in the sa huli, no? So, I agree pa rin na we're in control of the consequences. Kasi we know naman that consequences are there, but we still chose to do the wrong thing. Like, we killed we killed an innocent person. Then what's the consequence of that? Is that we will be penalized by the law and will be subject to going to prison. So, we're still to be blamed for the actions that we do, regardless whether right or wrong.
I agree naman din. Like, kahit if di mo alam if your consequences will get worse or kung paano ka mapapunish, but still, nandun pa rin yung general idea mo na if I do this, something bad will happen to me for sure. So, andun pa rin yung parang minimum expectation mo na hahabulin ka pa rin talaga ng consequences mo. Even though it might be little or big, ganun. So yeah, I agree naman.
So, for that question, may gusto pa mag-add or wala na? Alright, so let's move to the last. So, are we in absolute control of our will? Are we always free to do what we intend? Or do we always freely intend what we intend? Hindi ko get yung second question.
Yeah, you weren't guessing.
Medyo ano eh. Are we always free to do what?
I get the first one. For like,
Yeah,
Or do
I
we
also get the
always-
first.
do we always really intend what we intend?
Okay. Like, parang free ka ba gawin yung mga sinasadya mong gawin? Like, ganon.
Okay.
Okay.
Medyo tough na.
Mm,
Sino gusto mag-start? Or ano?
but for me, I think na like parang we write our own story. So like parang gets like the things that we do is because it's our own choice talaga. So like we really have control. Like parang like syempre there will be external factors who will influence our decisions. But at the end of the day, like it's still you who will choose what to do. Example, parang if I ask Banzon na hey, let's go to a party knowing that we have an exam the next day. Like I'm influencing him, but at the end of the day, it's still his choice if he wants to go to the party with me. So yeah, like we're in absolute control of our will because yun nga, like we're the ones who chooses what to do in our lives. Yun yeah. And for the second question, di pa ako sure. So
Sige, balik tayo sa second question. So, yeah, I also agree na. We're really in absolute control. Kasi, kaya nga may word tayo in Filipino na nagpupumilit, di ba? So, parang, even though, parang siya sabi na, huwag mo gawin yan, delikado yan. Pero, wala, nagpumilit si Sid eh. So, we're still, even other people's, they can just tell us what to do or encourage us na we're going in. But it's at the end of the day, it's still our decision, it's still our will, whether gagawin natin yan. Diba? Like what Miko said, kung invite niya si Benson for a party, it's still Miguel's responsibility na kung gusto niya pumunta sa party or not. So, same for all of us. So, yun, we're in absolute control of our will.
Yeah, same. I'm going to agree again. Pero medyo na-confuse nga ako. Kala ko yung question is about yung parang if free ka gawin lahat ng gusto mong gawin. Pero I think will lang naman pala. So I think yes. Even kumari if hindi mo siguro hindi naman din lahat ng actions na gusto mong i-intend gawin pwede mong magawa. Pero if it's in your yun nga, if it's in your will na parang gusto mong pinag-iisipan mo talaga gawin or pinaplano mong gawin, nandun pa din yun. So, it's only you that can really know when will you do it or when you're going to stop with it or when you're going to stop doing it, parang ganon. So, it's not really, it can be influence, yes, but it still holds in the major decision of the up to the person. Yan, nasa kanya pa rin yung final judgment. So, yes, I'll agree.
Ano ulit yung question? Yung are we in control?
yeah,
Are we
like,
Yeah,
of our will.
of our will.
Yes, kasi yun as what Miguel said na we have the final say to everything. For example, someone asks us to steal something for them. It's still up to us if we do it. Kaya parang if we do it naman, we have to consider the consequences to the action. Yeah. I think it's about our own decision making. Parang ganun.
Yeah.
Kasi
Yeah.
we not only do we have to consider yung the consequences but the people that we may affect doing that action.
Yeah. So, balik tayo dun sa, do we always freely intend what we intend? It's kinda hard, pero I'll try to answer it. So, intend. So, parang, I think, intention. So, parang, I think the question goes na parang, free ba tayo ng gawin yung gusto natin gawin? Parang, ganun ba? Parang ganun, no? So, I think, let's say, our intention is let's say, our intention is to, let's say, mm, I think, I think I can place it in a basketball na lang siguro. Na, ang intention ko talaga is to, to take the 3 points in order to win the game, but then I really intended to, then ginawa ko naman. So, I think we're still free to do it naman. Kasi, iniisip pa rin naman din natin, uy, itutuloy ko ba? Like, ganun. So, parang, whether I take that 3 points, it's still my intention. So, I think I'm still in control over that intention na mag 3 points ako to win the game.
I think it's relatable rin to my first answer na parang about our intentions. Like, there will be people talaga who will like try to influence like our decisions and stuff. So, yeah, it's like, I guess like we are free. Like we're free to choose we are free to choose for ourselves, or we are free na we choose na people will choose for us. Yes. So yeah. That's what I think.
Wait. For me, I'll just siguro reiterate what I said na since it's on your upon your own judgment, and then it means then na it's in your true intentions na to do that action or to think about that action. Parang on that situation, siguro medyo like may konting yung subconscious mo parang medyo nakaset in na sa ano mong gustong gawin. So, ando na din yung pinaka goal mo. Pero hindi mo lang, it's either hindi mo pa ginagawa or ayaw mo lang gawin muna, parang ganun. But still, that's still there. Hindi pa rin yun mawawala if you didn't not change your decision.
Hindi ko get yung question eh.
Pero I think parang same lang din siya.
Yeah,
same lang naman din siya sa may ano.
Like a follow-up.
Like, parang follow-up, parang may in-intention ka, then parang responsible ka ba for that?
Okay, going back to the yung first question. Kasi I think yung may nakalimutan yung idagdag. Like, are we always free to do what we intend? I think dun, I think it depends rin how we were parang raised and where we are. Kasi, for example, sa ibang countries, like yung weed, they're legal.
Yeah.
For example, for medication lang naman. Pero yun, parang it depends then on how we were raised or where we live, how our government is in that place, ganun. Kaya tapos yung are we really free? Or do we always freely intend what we intend? Di ko gets eh.
Yeah, okay lang naman. Yeah.
So, okay na.
So, Any
Pwede
maybe
naman
spark?
mag-wrap up doon.
Yeah, I think we can wrap up na for
Yung
this.
yung tawag doon. Ano yung pinost ni Sir na na yung ano yan?
Jamboard.
Yung Jamboard.
May lalagay ba tayo doon?
Well, ako naglalagay na ako ng mga nasabi lang natin.
Yeah. Wait, I said you can end that.
Ha?
The recording now.
Okay, so that will